Hi guys, Nathan here from BodyBrainIntegration.com, and one thing I want to touch on today is limiting factors. So often when we work with people, we often hear them say, oh, I don't know the right exercises, or it might be a time issue that stops me from getting my results. But I want to explore the psychology for a second. Now often when people achieve new things, they have to push to new intensities. And right at that zone where you have to break through a cycle can be very scary. So I've drawn a little graph here that shows levels of fear and levels of intensity. So what tends to happen when we're training someone, or even when we're training ourselves, is as the intensity builds, our anxiety builds to a point which is often known as our breaking point. Now, right when this happens, people will go one of two ways. The first way is they'll go for their flight response, where you'll hear excuses and, oh, it's all too hard because it's very emotional. The amygdala will be firing up and they'll say, oh, my family, my stresses at work, and all of a sudden they'll retreat and they won't want to go there again. Whereas some other people will have more of a fight response. And what Nathan Hellberg from Zoo calls finding a new zone. So actually increasing your level of overall performance. So I want you to think about, how would you react if you're working a certain intensity and then it climbs and climbs and climbs, your heart rate's up, your blood pressure's up, and you feel a little bit of fear. So it's really interesting to consider what happens here. So what we're going to explore is how we can overcome those fears. So have you ever thought about why you'd want to run away when it gets to this point? A lot of it comes down to our own personal self-belief. Now often, what you'll find is people who don't want to push past this point have a lot of self-doubt within themselves. But when you build your own self-belief and we can move beyond a new zone in our physical capacity, we can utilize something called our gateway behaviors. So if you can actually move beyond this point, what you'll find is things in other areas of your life, whether it's your stress management, fear of relationships, fear of putting yourself in a public forum, all those sorts of things begin to take care of themselves. So in terms of coming up with a strategy, what we can do is we can begin to mentally rehearse how we're going to operate when we get into that zone. So we know our heart rate's up, we know that our muscles are burning, we know that the fear's up, but we need to have the right self-talk in our head to move us to the next level. So what I'd like you to do, if you are somebody who knows how to fight through this, I want you to share your comments below on how you move into this new zone. What we're going to do is, after we receive these comments, we're going to move forward and come up with some strategies together. Thanks guys, and I'll speak to you soon.